In this video, I'm going to take two websites and I will try to recreate the hero section of that website. So it will be like a practice section for you in order to get familiar with Framer. So I have planned to create the Build With Me series. So in this series, I'm going to create a random hero section, navigation section, feature section, service section, and etc. So by just building with me, you can get a practice on how to work around with layout in Framer. Even if you want to recreate any of the section or pages, you can leave the comment so that I can able to look into it and we will try to build it also. So that we are going to recreate the hero section of the two websites. So without making a much delay, let's get into the video. So these two are the signs which I have taken in order to recreate the hero section. So this is the website I have taken. So for this, I'm going to use HTML to Framer Chrome extension. So let me select this extension. I'm going to copy this element. So I'm just clicking on this. So the layout has been copied. I'm going to the project and let me paste. So it have been pasted. And again, I'm going to the website. Let me copy this image and let me paste. Again, I'm copying this image. So I have pasted. Now I'm going to copy all the necessary assets. So that I have taken all the necessary assets needed for this hero section recreation. Now let me choose all this and bring it here. Okay. And let me take the screenshot of it. So I have taken the screenshot also. Let's start to recreate this. I'm going to select all this text and let me bring it here. Now I have created the text here, so that is inside the canvas. Now I'm going to select all those text. Their position is in absolute. We need to make it as a layout. Now let me select all those text and let me add a stack. Now we need to make the necessary layout arrangement. So we have created the stack. Let me name it as content wrap. Got it. And let's make the distribution for this to be in start and alignment to be in the left. Now we need to create the container which holds the content and the images. So again, I'm going to add a stack which should be above this and let me name it as container. And let me give the max width to 1300 or something whichever we want Okay. Now coming to the desktop, we need to make the distribution to be in center. Okay, fine. And now we need to create a button which is below this text. So let me select both buttons. So I have bring it here and let me rename it as button. And also these two buttons should be inside the content wrap, right? And also there is a mismatch in this alignment. For this, I'm again going to create another stack. So this will be act as button wrap. Now let me take this button wrap inside this content wrap. Okay, and let's make the direction to be in horizontal and distribution to be in the start. And also we need to give the appropriate spacing between this. Okay, fine, it will be fine, I hope. But from here I can see there is a space between these two. So let me increase it. But this doesn't seems good. So what I'm going to do is let me select all these text and again let me create another stack. Okay, it will be act as content and let's make the direction to be in horizontal to the start, alignment to the left. And here we can give the spacing something like this. And for this whole, let me increase the gap. Now it seems good. So that we have created the content wrap along with the buttons. And now we are going to create the image wrap. Okay. So here I'm going to create a frame which should be above the content wrap because a content wrap will be a one box and the image wrap will be in another box. Okay, so let me give the name to image wrap. And coming to the image wrap, let me bring it below the content wrap. Okay, let me make it as fill. And coming to this, let me make it as fill. Okay, again fill, and a distance between, and we need to give a gap between these two, so let me give the gap. Okay, fine. And now let me take out this color. So here it will be only the wrap, that is like a holder, and inside this we are going to add the images. So let me bring this image that is inside here. Okay, let me decrease the size, something like this. The image has been cut out. It's because of the overflow issue. So I'm just going to select this image wrap and I'm going to look on this overflow and let me make it as visible. Okay, let me make it the layout, and again it has been cut out. It's because of its apparent visibility. So again I'm clicking on this container and going to the overflow. Let me make it as visible. Now it's looking great. This coming to this image wrap, let me make it to layout, and later on let me choose up with this image and make the position to absolute. Now let me move it a little bit. Let me pin it to the left and also to the top, and let me rotate it something to -14 or 15, and also let me adjust it something like this. Okay, it's looking great now. And now let me bring this image inside this image wrap, that is the second image, and let me change the position to absolute, and let me bring it here, and also let me rotate it something like this, so that we have made this one. And later on we have this particular design. So let me select these ones. Now let me take out this one to here. So we have taken this content here. Now let me select all those, and for this let me create a stack and let us make it as fit content. But what I feel is, instead of giving the width to fit and height to fit, let me make it as fixed, and let me give the size to 190 and 190. Now we can able to see there is a circle background, so this will be the image. So let me take out this one to here, that is inside this circle wrap. Now for this, let me make the position to absolute and make it as relative and relative, and let me give it as 100%, 100%. And for this, the position should be in absolute, but we need to pin it to the right position. So let me make it as 0 and 0. And coming to this, let me make the z-index value to 0. Okay, and for this tag it will be circle whole wrap. And for this, let me make it to fit content, and let me make the position to absolute, and let me bring it somewhere here. And this circle wrap also should be inside this image wrap, so that we have made the basic setup of this. Now we need to add the background. Now we need to add the background image, that is these bubbles. Okay, so let me bring those image here, that is above the container, and also the position of this is also to be in absolute. So let me bring it somewhere here. Let me make the position to absolute and just bring all the bubbles inside this hero section. And now everything seems good now. And coming to here, we can see there is a slight an animation, which is something like a bouncing. So what I'm going to do is, let me select this one. I'm going to the effects and let me choose up with the loop. Instead of loop, I'm going to choose the type to be in mirror, and let me make the rotation to be in the 0, and let me make it to skew a little bit for an elongation effect, and let me make the offset adjustment, and for this make it as 3. Okay, and let's check how it's working. It's okay, but the timing seems to be so slow, so let me make it as 2. Let me stick it out. Now it's looking great. So this is how we need to give the effect for the remaining bubbles. So now let me select this one. I'm going to the effects, loop, mirror, rotation to be in 0, and let me make the skewing a little bit. Okay, it should be 1.5. The same follow-ups for other bubbles as I said. Let me copy this one, let me paste it for some other. Paste, paste. So I have pasted the effect for all those. So let's check how it's looking. We can see a bouncing effect. I can't find the effect for this one, for the center. So for this I'm going to change a little bit. Okay, instead of 2, to make it as 1. Okay, now it's looking great. So that we have recreate the hero section. So now coming to this button, let me create a component, that is button, and let me create a hover effect. And coming to this linear, let me adjust the linear gradient. Okay, now let me check how it's working. We have given her a little bit effect, the same follow-ups for the other button, so that we have made the hero section of the selected website. So this is how you need to work around in order to get familiar with the layout. Now let's check up with the second website. Let me create another page. Okay, for this I have taken this website as an example. I'm going to use a Chrome extension. At first, let me copy this layout and let me paste. Now let me copy this layout. Let me paste. Okay, and let me copy this image. Let me paste. And this one, let me paste. Now I have taken all the necessary assets from the website. Now let me take out the design and bring it here, so that we have taken all the assets and a screenshot also. Now we are going to recreate this. So for this, let's bring this all the content first. So that we bring the text and the buttons here. Now we need to make it the perfect arrangement. Okay, so let me choose this one, choose this one, and choose this one, and make it as add stack. Okay, this will be the content wrap. Got it? And coming to this two, that is for the buttons, let me make it as button 2, button 1. Okay, and for both these things we are going to add a stack. It will be act as button wrap. Now again I am going to create another stack. It will be the content. Now let me bring this button wrap inside this content wrap, so that we have made the perfect layout. Now let me choose up with the desktop. Let me make it as layout and make it to be in the center. Okay, And coming to this, let's make it as fill, and let me give the gap somewhere like this. Okay, so next is we need to add this image, right? Okay, so for that, now I am choosing up with this content wrap. Let me make the padding value at the top to 150 and bottom to 150 in order to create the considerable spacing at the top and the bottom. Okay, and we can see there is a curve on the corner. So let me go to a radius and let me give it to 20. Here we can see there is a gap. So in order to achieve this, I'm going to choose up with the desktop and going to the padding. In the padding, I'm going to give the value for the left and right to be in 20 and 20. Now it's time to bring the image that is inside this content wrap. So let me bring the image inside this content wrap. That is here. And for this, the position should be in absolute. And for the sizing, let me take out this link and let me give the height to be in relative 100%. And coming to the position pinning, let me make it as 0 and 0. Okay, we can't see the content. It's because of z index issue. Let me make the z index to 0 so that we created this. We can't able to click on this content. It's because of this image. So let's log it. Now we need to add these two images. So let me take this image and keep it inside and make the position to be in absolute and bring it somewhere here and pin it to the right instead of left. Let me make it to 0. Let me take out this pinning. Okay, and also we need to bring this image to be here and make the position to be in absolute and make the pinning to the left, and let's make the adjustment. Now coming to the desktop, let's make the height to be in fit content. Okay, and coming to the desktop, let's make it the padding value to be in 100 and bottom value to be in 100. Okay, so we have created this content wrap. We need to add this one. Okay, so for that we have taken the asset, right? So let me select all these images and let me bring it inside the desktop. We should be below the content wrap. Okay, we have taken this one. Now we need to create a tag for all this, and let me make the direction something here. Okay, let me check how it's look. Great. But coming to the website, I can able to see the background image, and also there is a lot of spacing at the bottom. So instead of giving the bottom padding value to be in the 150, let me make the value to in 500. Yeah, it will be great. And for this, let me make it as images wrap, and we have a 2 wrap. Let me show you in the website. We have 2 wraps. So again, I'm going to duplicate it and I'm going to select both these images wrap and let me add stack. It will be whole image wrap. Now I'm going to choose the position of this wrap to be in absolute. Okay, now let me adjust it somewhere here. Okay, and coming to the desktop, let me adjust the position, and now I'm going to make the distribution to be in the start instead of center. Okay, now it's looking great. Okay, now we haven't give the considerable gap, so let me give the gap something like this, something to 30. The same follow-ups for this 30 and 30. I can clearly see there is a cut here. Again, it's because of the visibility issue. Let me make it to visible and visible. And again, I'm choosing up with the whole image wrap. I'm going to the overflow. Let's make it to visible. Yes. Now it's looking great. Now what's the next one is we need to create a scrolling animation. We should resemble like this. Okay. So for that, I'm choosing this image wrap and going to the scroll section. Let me name it as 1. And for the second one, I'm going to name it as 2. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to the effects. I'm choosing out with scroll transform. So in section in view, the viewport should be in center and choosing out with the first one. And for the from position, let me make the opacity to 1 and 1. Now we need to set the position in the 2. So I'm selecting this 2 and let me adjust the offset somewhere here. Okay, the same follow-ups for the second one. So I'm just copying this one and pasting it here. But only the thing is we need to set the direction to be in opposite. So instead of minus 965, I'm going to set it as plus 965. So let's check how it's working. Yeah, it's working great. Now let's make it as responsive. So let me create the tablet one. So coming to here, let's give the padding to be in 100. Okay. And then this text width is in a fixed position. So let me make it as fill. It's looking great. And coming to this, let me reduce this one, bring it here. What about the next? Let me keep it here. Okay. The remaining looks great. And let me create the font. Let me take out this image, visibility to no, and the padding value to be in 50. And coming to this, let me change the sizing to 40, and for the line 1.2 em. Okay. And coming to the description, let me make it to fill. Okay. And for this button wrap, let me change the direction. Great. Okay. And coming to this one, we make it to 50. And for the content wrap, let me give the padding value 15 and 15. So somewhat we have make it as responsive. Okay. Let me go to the previous one. Let me make it as responsive also. So for that, let me create the tablet. Coming to the container, let me create the padding with 20 and 20. And let me reduce the size of this image. Something like this. Okay. Let me bring it here. And for this, let me make it something like this to the... Okay, it's looking good now. Now let me create the phone breakpoint. Okay. And coming to this, let me make it as fit content. Now we need to give the spacing at the top and the bottom. So 100. Okay. Now let me adjust. And coming to this, let me change the sizing. with 1.2 am, so that we have created the responsive for this hero section also. I hope you have really enjoyed this video and learned how to work around this layout by using some website as an example. So if you want me to recreate any of the website, please leave a comment in the comment section below. So we will be creating more like this in the Build With Me series. If you really enjoy this video, don't forget to like this and share it with your fellow designers. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So now, see you in the next video.